Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for shorts. Outbreak Fest. I think this is probably the first time I've done a video about Outbreak Fest. It's just never really been on my radar as something that I would attend personally. Even though the last couple of years I've kind of loved the lineups and certainly always been intrigued by like how contemporary, how up to date, how ahead of the time they often are. Obviously, as a festival, if you're not too aware of it, it's basically been running in Manchester for good many years. Many years. In fact, there's a grown inside taking place at the BEC these days, weekend festival event. And it basically celebrates the hardcore and punk scenes and the crossover of those sort of arts, as well as the more varied as well, but within that world and the counterculture world. And it almost always is a lot, bringing bands, showcasing bands that are on the rise. There are many bands that kind of played Outbreak before they became big names. But you look at now and think, God, man, what that would have been amazing to see them there, and so on and so forth. It's a well-respected festival. It's got a small portion of a fan base that's very protectionist of it, depressingly so, I think, to some degree. Some of the things I've seen on social media regarding what I'm about to talk about here, I haven't loved. It feels very selfish and very kind of like leave our festival alone, which I do understand as well to some degree. But it's just Outbreak's growing, and you kind of got to accept that, because of course this year's good. Well, next year, 2025, is going to be a little bit different. And this was already announced before they announced the bands that are going to be playing. But they did previously say that, as well as taking place as per usual in Manchester, they were going to be doing a one-day event in London. And the reaction to that was mixed for the most part. Obviously, Londoners, people like that, over the moon. People who support Outbreak mostly were over the moon because, hey, it means they're growing in size. It means they're seeing London as an opportunity, a market to tap. Whatever you might think, we actually don't have enough alternative one days in London compared to across the country. And of course, being the capital, bands that always want to come here. You always want to play the city, so you can't be too mad at that anyway. But there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room for Outbreak Fest to do one day in London, to at least chance it, see how it goes. And if they feel confident enough to do it in 2025, clearly something is going right. It's going to be part of the Lido Festival series, so it's actually taking place in London on the 13th of June at London's Victoria Park. That is awesome. That's outdoors. That is great. That is a great place for it. And the lineup, I would say, is very, very varied. Intriguingly so. Enough so that I look at the lineup and I don't love it from a personal perspective, but I am intrigued and excited by the wealth of talent that's on it and the unique difference in the names. Particularly that it's being headlined for a one-off UK exclusive headline shows, which I know has upset some people because they're not playing the Manchester one, they're only playing the London one. It's Turnstile, hardcore crossover icons. I like Turnstile. I like them a lot. Back when we do a track by tracks, did one for one of their albums. That was a lot of fun. I think that'd be a really cool headline show. They've got a lot of freaking songs, a lot of blue and anthems, so that should be a lot. Really, really good. But then there are a few, like that's an obvious one I know, as are the likes of, say, Knock Loose, Speed. These are bands I know well. But then there's an artist called Alex G. And other than seeing it, he's called like an alternative star, Alex G. I just don't know who that is. So I can't really tell you too much about the artist or what it might sound like or what I feel about it. The fact I just don't know who that is. Maybe I do, and I just can't quite place the name to who it's attached to. But quite high build on this lineup. Of course, as I already said, Knock Loose. That there's almost a ticket seller, isn't it? Not Loose alone. I mean, Not Loose and Turnstile. There's two already. But then you've got Danny Brown, the rapper. That's cool as hell. I just said Speed, making a hell of a lot of noise. Sunny Day Real Estate. That's a fun one. That's a bit of a surprise. I do like a bit of her emo sound track. Not too familiar with Super Heaven, but I've been told it's kind of atmospheric grunginess, and I like the sound of that. But you've got Julie and Fleshwater, and both bands are great. Fleshwater is another, like on a personal level, Fleshwater is a great shout. Who else we got? Drug Church, cool. Model slash actress. I don't spell like ACTRIZ. I don't know them. They are gutting a body of water. I'm not familiar with them. Female Little Horse. Not familiar with them either. Have a Nice Life. Not familiar with them. Kumo 99. Name rings a bell. Um, but I don't know if I know them, basically. And apparently, this is all taking place across 4 stages, and there are more artists to be announced. So that's our first announcement for sort of London, this one-day London festival. And I think, depending upon ticket prices, which I'm not sure about at this stage, because tickets aren't on sale as of time of recording, they are going to go on sale in like 2 days' time. But based off that, that's a pretty strong ticket seller there alone. I'd like to see what comes next, really, because when you've got the likes of, say, Knock Loose, and you've got the likes of Turnstile, Fleshwater, Sunny Day Real Estate. This is a pretty strong lineup already. It's 5 bands I've just named there for one day festival. That's almost a ticket seller, of course. But you're not in London. What you want to go to is the main one, the famous one, the festival mainstay, which of course takes it to BEC in Manchester. BEC Bowlers Exhibition Centre, 2-day event on the 14th and 15th of June. So taking place after the London one. So what we got this time, as I said already, no Turnstile. London's a one-off for them. But you are getting Knock Loose and Alex G. They're going to be joined by Slow Dive, great band, doing our own exclusive headline set. Very exciting. We got Danny Brown, Speed, Drug Church, model, actress. Again, Mama, Feeble Little Horse, Have a Nice Life, Kuma 99, and Fleshwater. They're all basically doing both shows, which makes sense. Like from a band perspective, it's a bit Reading and Leeds style. You go to London, you do those shows, and you head up to Manchester to do even more shows. Makes it more worthwhile for you. Amazing. But Manchester being like the main outbreak, it's also got more exclusives. Denzel Curry will be coming over, following up the 2023 set. Deaf Heaven. I mean, I love Deaf Heaven. That's a great band. And, oh my God, hate. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a debut at Outbreak. It's amazing it hasn't happened already. That shit's gonna be nuts. Who else we got? Military Gun. Not too sure about them. Impunity. Good band. Icarus and Split Knuckle are cool as well. Foxing, not too familiar with them. Then we've got Sodomai, Pain of Truth, Spy, Gouge Away, Rocket, Tiger's Jaw, and of course, so much more to come. Hell of a weekend. It's already shaping up really nicely, I think. If I was going to the Manchester one based off what we see right now, obviously I'd be more than happy to have Knock Loose there, and the likes of Speed, similar to London, those bands as well, Fleshwater. But having Deaf Heaven, I mean, I love Deaf Heaven. Not as much these days as I did during the Sunbather, that section of things. But I still really appreciate their music, and they were always incredible live. And I would love to see God's Hate. I'm a big Brody King fan. So stand back, watch the youngsters, go nuts for this. Going to be crazy. I reckon there's going to be some split lips and sore heads during that set. It's going to be incredible. And the rest, you're talking about bands I may not know or I don't know. But I'd be so excited to check them out. I'm a bit more familiar with the BEC now, having only as a time recording, only like a month ago, done Damnation. So I kind of picture it now in my head, thinking that would be quite a lot of fun. And it'd be great to see what's added there as well. Of course, as time of recording, tickets go on sale Friday, the 29th of November. There is going to be a pre-sale, which will be available for those who sign up to the mailing list, which goes up on Thursday, the 28th at 10 a.m. GMT. So you can kind of get that one, get them a little earlier potentially. But I have a feeling that this festival is going to do really well, particularly the London day. It wouldn't surprise me if that sells out fairly quickly, not just because of the bands that have already been announced, but just because it's Outbreak. Maybe you are a Londoner who couldn't really afford to travel or was too far. All these reasons that you could never get up to Manchester. We watched from afar and thought, God, that festival looks right up your street. Well, there you have it. Now you have a day of it in London, and there's a chance it will continue to grow from there. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a banger. What's your feelings on this though? I mean, are you anti the London one? Do you feel like it's a sign of things to come, that the beginning of span it to London, eventually to sort of move away from Manchester? I don't think that's the case at all. It's done phenomenally well in Manchester. I just think it's becoming a bigger, wider thing, and that's a very exciting prospect, for this festival. The growth is immense. Plus, means the band's going to play more than one, basically, city. So that's great. I mean, eventually, who knows? Outbreak could take place over an entire week, starting like on a Monday, running all the way to the Sunday next, but in different cities and doing different days. Obviously, that's a bit of the hot top. They would likely be doing a 4-day festival on a Wednesday in Birmingham or something, you know. But you get my point. It's exciting to see it grow. Which one would you go to? Which one are you more interested in? Are you excited about London? Even though there's a lot of bands, obviously, crossing over. London does have Turnstile, whereas Manchester's getting the likes of Death Heaven and God's Hate and so on. I hope God's Hate gets added to the London one. That would be cool. Maybe it's something that's got to be sorted out. But for now, I don't know. I want to hear what you got to say on this one. Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.